Good day, everyone. So today my topic will be switch case. I am trying to cover the switch case or the case statement in SQL. So what is case statement now? Directly, I am jumping into the topic. So what is case statement? Suppose, okay, let me go to the SQL Server and let me check what was there in our table. So let me go to the database BW here. So our table now looks like this. Until the last class, our table looks like this. So now, suppose I want to do something like, I want to introduce some good name. So what is good name now? So whenever the people are male, I want to call them as Mr. George or Mr. Krish or Mr. Michael. Whenever the person is female, I want to mention like Miss or Mrs. Jerry, Miss or Mrs. Jacob, Miss and Mrs. Maria, kind of that. So if it is the requirement, till now, whatever we know, uh, so how to solve this one? So the solution will come like in this way, where a gender equals to male. So I want to introduce a new column called Mr. dot plus S name. And I want to name it as like good name, say. Now, for female, I want to introduce another select statement, and where I need to introduce it like Miss or Mrs. S name as good name, where gender equals to female, whatever we know till now. And if I run both of them, it looks like this. All the males here are coming as Mr. something, Mr. George, Mr. Krish, Mr. Michael. And here all the females are coming like Miss or Mrs. Jerry, Miss or Mrs. Jacob, kind of that. So if I want to make a union of both of them, it will come like this, a good name. But if you have multiple conditions like that, like uh, on this condition, it will be Mr. On this condition, it will be Miss and Mrs. kind of that. So there might be a chance like you are missing something. Suppose if what will happen if gender is null? What will happen if gender is T? Suppose for the transgender, so it is T. So you have to check all the gender and you have to write all of them together here. So that is a troublesome thing. So the best solution for this kind of situation or this kind of requirement will be using the case statement. So now what is case? So we can write the query like select star, whatever it is. Now I can segregate this column on the basis of case and end. I have to write the query in between this. So I will be checking the gender. So let me write case gender, and when it will be male, then I want to add the same condition like then Mr. plus S name. Then then Mr. plus S name. Okay, as you know, SQL is not a case sensitive, so you can write either in lowercase or uppercase. That doesn't matter. So when M, then Mr. plus S name. When female, then Mrs. and Miss and Miss S name, kind of that. So if I write that, yeah, so that is the case. And if you are missing something, you can put else. If you are missing something, for the timing, we are not missing anything. But if you are missing something, you can simply, if you have some person with some other third gender, so you can simply mention his or her name, like else S name. That's all. That's all. So if I run this query, okay, something happened. Case gender, okay, invalid column name gender. Okay, sorry, I have not mentioned from student. Yeah. So what happens actually, this case statement is additional. So if you run select star from student, obviously you will get the full details of the table. Now, if you need an extra column like good name, so you can put a comma and you can paste the case statement. So if you run this full thing now, it will give something like Mr. George, Mr. Krish, Mr. Michael, Miss or Mrs. Jerry on the basis of this column. And you have the advantage of this else, means if you are missing something, then it will be only showing as yes name. It will not show Mr. or Miss or Mrs. anything. It will only show the name if there is any value, if there any value exists apart from male and female. So, but here in the union thing, there might be a chance that one column might be repeated, one column might be missing or something like that. So this approach is not granted or it is not preferred. So always go for this case approach. Okay. So this is our case statement. So we can modify this thing a bit. Either gender can be taken as common, means after case you can write it. If the conditions are complicated, you can also mention gender in between as well. If gender equals to male and if gender equals to female, you can mention in that way as well. And if you are missing something apart from that, if you have any value apart from male and female, then else it will be simply yes name. Okay, I will be showing those conditions as well. So now it is doing the same. Okay, we do not have any column name header. So obviously, you know what is the solution. I can just write as something like good name. You know this process. At the end, you have to mention as something. So the header name will come here. So if I execute the query, you can see the field name is good name and you can see the same details. Okay. So now what else we can do? Let me think. So let me make it a bit complicated. Suppose I want to make a chart like suppose if anyone gets 81 to 100, they will be called as grade A. Suppose I want to introduce a new field as grade. So if anyone gets 61 to 80, he or she will be called as in grade B. For 41 to 60, they will be called as C, and rest of the people, or you can simply say less than 40, less than equals to 40 will be termed as D, or failed, anything you can choose. So if I want to write this query, so just one thing, gender, as I mentioned, you can take common here, but if you write it in common, you cannot mention something like greater than and less than. So whenever you are using something like greater than and less than, it is always preferred to bring gender inside of the case statement. Okay, so now I will show you why I'm saying that. So now suppose I want to make a condition for marks. So when, let me delete all this. Here will be our end statement. Now, when marks, just take a look closely. When marks greater than 81 and marks less than equals to 100, then I can mention it is as A. So take a look here. The conditions are pretty much complicated. So we have multiple conditions here. So it is preferred to write marks here inside the case statement. Rather, if you write here, it is used for the simplest version of comparison. But here comparison criteria is pretty much complicated. So I am writing marks inside the case statement. So I can do the same thing for the other grades as well. Let me put all of them one by one. Okay. So let me write if B, here it is C, and also another one is D. So I can mention something like where marks greater than 81 and less than 100. Here it is 61 to 80. Here it is 41 to 60. And here it is 0 to less than 40. So if I run this query, obviously the grade will be visible. Let me check. Okay, something happened here for 60. Why it happened? Let me check. Let me run again. Okay, why it is happening? Let me check. It is 60.30. Okay, so it is this value. Take a look. This value is lying between 60 and 61. So that is the case. We are missing one value. Take a look. Here we have written 61 to 80 and here it is 41 to 60. So you have to be careful. So how I can solve this thing? I can simply write 61 less than. Here, if I write less than 81. Here, if I write less than 41, then I would not miss any value. So these are the small things, small logical things that you need to take care. Okay, so if I run this query again, I think the missing value will be filled up now. So take a look. The D, Krish grade is D because he got 30.05, less than 40. So Jerry grade is A because Jerry got 86.50. It belongs to 81, in between 81 and 100. So it is grade A. So take a look. It looks like this. So you can do another thing. It is not mandatory. You have to give all the condition in the similar way. You can simply write when marks less than 41, then it is D. You can also write that. Even for the first one, if the marks greater than 81, even it is greater than 100 even, then also you can put it like grade A. So you can use anything, any condition as per your wish. So you can see we can put some complicated type of conditions as well. So we can, I can say you another thing, another interesting thing, that these case statements are sequential. Means when marks are greater than 81, the grade will be A. When the marks are between 61 and 81, grades are B. So at this point, you can skip mentioning less than 81. Because if it is greater than 81, greater than equals to 81, it belongs to A. If it is not satisfying this condition, then only it will come to this condition. So it doesn't means the people who got 90 and 90 means greater than 61 and it will be termed as B. It will never happen. It will never happen. Okay. So if it is greater than 81, then it will be grade A. If it is not, then it comes to the second condition. So you do not need to mention like marks greater than 61 and less than 80. So simply writing this will be enough. Let me show you. Some people has this confusion like if I get 90, 90 is greater than 41. That means should I get grade C? No. 90 is not. If 90 is greater than 81, then it will satisfy A. If it is not, then only it will go to the second condition. If it is not greater than 61, then only it will come into this third point. So you do not need to mention like less than of something here. So these criteria are sequential. Take a look here. 45, Michael got 45. So 45 it belongs to C. Okay. And for Jerry, if I check 86 greater than 81. So it comes into grade A. 86 also greater than 61, but it is not going for grade B. So it is sequential. If it is satisfying, then the condition is done here. If it is not, then only it is coming for the second one. If it is not, then only coming for the third one. So that's why 86 is showing grade A here. Okay, whereas 86 is greater than 81 as well as greater than 61 as well as greater than 41. I hope this logical thing is clear now. It is not the syntax, it is about the logical sense. So you have to understand. So if you have any confusion, obviously you can write back to me to my email ID, or you can also mention the same in the comment section. I will try to give the answer, proper explanation. So, and obviously you can write something like as grade at the end, so that here the column name will come like grade. Okay, so now you can also, so we have checked how we can write multiple conditions. So now I will try to make some more complicated scenarios. Like if I define something, suppose for California, the passing marks is 50. So if anyone gets greater than 50, then it will be, he or she will be called as passed. If it is less than equals to 50, then it will be called failed. Say it is for California. And for suppose West Bengal, my state, so it is 40. Say if anyone gets greater than 40, or let it be 30, then he or she will be called as passed. And a less than that, less than 30 will be called as failed, something like that. And for other states, you can say like not applicable. For other state, I don't know the other rules about the other states. So for other states, it will be like not applicable any. Okay, I do not judge if the person is passed or failed. So if I want to write this complicated situation on the basis of state and marks as well. So how to write these criteria here? So obviously select star, everything will be there. And here I can write when states equals to California, equals to California, and you can write like and marks greater than equals to 50. If I can check greater than 50, okay, greater than 50, then only I will say pass. So you can bring multiple criterias, multiple complicated criterias here. So here you can simply write when state less than 50 in simple words, then it is failed. I hope this idea is clear now. So same in the same way, if I write this condition for my state, that is West Bengal, so it is now 30, I guess, greater than equals to 30. Yeah, then passed, and less than 30 means fail. So if I write the same here, less than 30 means failed, and the state will be West Bengal. And for other state, it is also important, if it is not satisfying any of this, then we can go for the else statement. So else, if anything comes apart from this, so those will be called as any. Okay, so for other state, people will be termed as any. Look, Florida people are getting the grade any. For Geneva, for Florida, for Maharashtra, for Karnataka, they are getting any. Whereas for California, take a look. Krish and Michael got marks less than 50, then they are said as failed. Whereas Jerry got 86.50, she is called as passed. Okay, same for West Bengal, we can see some passed and failed thing, but for other it is any. So you can write some complicated scenarios like that. Even you can write some more complicated things like where states in CA, comma, Florida. Say. So let me copy that and paste it here. So you can write anything. You can write anything. So that is the thing I want to prove. Even here, I can write with West Bengal, I can mention Karnataka as well. So Karnataka and West Bengal. If it is the case, then you can go for this condition. If the state is Karnataka and West Bengal and marks is greater than 30, then passed. And for all other places, it will be NA. So if I execute this for Geneva, it will be still NA. For Maharashtra, it will be still NA. And obviously for null, it will be NA. Even for null, you can introduce something. You can write when, even null can be handled here. When states is null, then you can say like states not mentioned. Anything, you can write anything here. Okay, so and else any. So if I run this, so here you can see it is written state not mentioned. So you can put literally anything, any condition here. Okay, so now I hope it is clear. So my next topic, what I can present now, let me think. I can put some conditions like, okay, you can use multiple case statement as well. Suppose apart from grade, I want to put something like the season when they have joined. Suppose if I present it like December, January, and February will be termed as winter. Say in India it is like that. So 3, 4, 5 will be called as summer. Say 6, 7, 8 will be called as a rainy season. Say here it happens in India, and 9, 10, and 11 will be called as autumn. Say just I want to segregate them. So I want to apply this case statement over the date field. So this date field I want to face the details, and I want to put the case statement on that. So I can write another case and end here. So I want to make this idea very clear how it works. Okay, so I can write something when month of date of joining in. So I am writing more complicated way. So 12, 1, and 2, then termed is as summer. Then termed is as summer. Let me copy and paste the other details. So when it is 3, 4, and 5, then okay, sorry, I have written wrong. It will be winter. Sorry for the people who are joining from the southern hemisphere. So it will be reverse for them who join from Australia and New Zealand and all. So, but still, just I am trying to play with the data. That is my purpose. So winter, summer, rainy, and the last one I thought it was autumn. Okay, let it be like that. 3, 4, 5, and here I want to put 6, 7, 8. Like always, I will again request you to practice all of them by yourself in your SQL Server. Then it will be more clear to you. Okay, so I don't know why it is showing the red color, but if I write something season, say, and if I try to run this query, yeah, it is giving the correct result. So take a look. George joined on 15 December. So I have mentioned like winter. So Chris joined on 28 March, 28, 3, you can see. So it will be termed as summer. So I can put whatever condition I like. So it is an easier way to represent your data rather going for those union thing or thinking about some other approach. This case statement is really cool and really easier to use. Okay, so you can play with the data in this way. Apart from that, there is another way as well. Like you can also use if statement. You can also use if statement. What is if statement now? If I go to a new query, I can write something like select star, but it is not that famous like case statement. I can write if marks greater than 80, suppose greater than equals to 81, then it will be termed as grade A. Otherwise, else it will be something else. Something, I don't know. Anyway, something like that. So what is the syntax of the if statement? It is something like if first you have to give the condition. What will happen if it is true? Then comma, what will happen if it is false? This is the structure of the if function. So here it is a condition. If it is true, then A will be printed. If it is false, something will be printed. Something else will be printed. Something like that. So from student, if I run this thing, it will also do the same thing like the case statement. Now, how I can put the grade B, grade C, and grade D here? So instead of something else, I will put another if. So if it is not greater than 81, then I will check further. Now, if the marks greater than equals to 61, if it is greater than equals to 61, then I will put like B. Otherwise, something else. Same thing. Now it will be showing grade A and grade B. For grade C and D, it will be showing something else. Let's take a look. So here we have something B, where it is greater than 61. But the for the marks which is less than 61, still we are getting something else. Take a look. Now I want to do something more. For something else, I want to put another if here. If it is not 60 greater than 61, I'm not interested to print something else. I am interested to further check. So further check will happen on the basis of this. If the marks is greater than 41 or not, then it will be C, and otherwise it will be D. So take a look. It is also behaving sequential like the case statement, but this way is not that famous like case statement, but still you can follow this way. It is the if function. But yeah, obviously the most famous way is the case statement. So you have to practice more. We have an exercise in our Facebook group. Probably you can see the details of that Facebook group in our comment section, and you can in the description, sorry. So you can try to solve that and it will be more clear for you. If you are still facing any issue, you can let me know. I will try to upload the solutions paper as well. So now I will try to check how I can use this case statement in order by, in update, in delete, in several parts of the query. So let me check the table again. Suppose I want to order by this table with states, say. But you can check for Dr. Pranab, for this record, we do not have a valid state. It is null. So obviously by default, it will always come at first. But I do not like this approach. Obviously for the rest of the data, it is in alphabetical order. Look, it is starting with C, then starting with F, then G, then K, then M, then W. But it always comes at the first. So I want to put some conditions here. So I can put something like order by case when states is null, then I want to go for say gender, and else I want to go for the states. If state is not null, go for the state. If state is null, then go for the gender. I want to put this condition here. Now, if I try to run, take a look here. This query, Dr. Pranab comes here. Why it comes here? Because it is assuming if the state is null, it is going for this male. So it is trying to put a aim here. It is trying to put a aim here because state is null. So it is trying to put the gender here. So you can check it is now in alphabetical order. It is K, it is M for male, and it is also M for Maharashtra. Okay, so it is now in alphabetical order. So let me clear the drawing so you can see what happened here. So if you write when state is null, it will fetch gender. So it is fetching the gender, and gender is M. So in alphabetical order, Dr. Pranab is coming in between K, N, and MH. So in alphabetical order, it is actually referring to gender when state is null. So now it is shorted, and I can successfully put the case statements in the order by clause. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now let me check how we can use this case statement in the update clause or update statement. Okay, so let me again check what is the data inside our student table. I actually every time I forget what is the data. Okay, so now how can I play with that? So let me introduce some country here. Let it be alter table student, and I am changing the table one by one. Okay. So every day, if you check, I maintain that sequence. Last day, probably during the date time class, I have added this. And now I'm going to add another field like country, say. So add country, and it will be say varchar 50 will be enough, I guess, for a country. So if I add, and if I check the table now, obviously the country will be null. So I want to put some criteria like update table name. Obviously, you know the syntax because we have already done that in our third class of probably DDL and DML statement. So you can refer to that thing. So I can put something like this: state country equals to say USA, where states in California, Florida, say, I don't know, we do not have, I guess, New Jersey, but still let me put something like New Jersey. So here, if I execute this, obviously this will be updated as USA, but I do not want to make one by one. I do not want to first update all the USA states, then Indian states, then Switzerland states, then Canadian states. I do not want to do like that. So I prefer a case statements. So here I will write set country equals to, now I will put a case here. Case when states in, where state, not where now, it will be when states in, sorry, something happening. Okay, when states in California, Florida, and NJ, then I want to put USA as a country. Now let me copy this out, and when states in, suppose West Bengal, and you can put as many as you want, West Bengal, Karnataka, suppose Maharashtra, suppose Delhi is not there, but I can put Delhi here. So Delhi, then I want to make it India. And suppose for others, I suppose I do not know about Geneva, it is Switzerland, I know, but still here for the state is null. For those states, I want to mention like else, others, say. Suppose, or you can mention all of them together as well. So if I run this query, let me check, it is still showing some error, but let me check. Okay, no, it is updated successfully. So because I always forgets the syntax. So look, it is behaving properly. So all of them for Florida and California people are marked as US. All the people apart from India and US are called as others. Or for all Maharashtra, Karnataka, and West Bengal people are being called as Indian. Okay, and for the null, it is obviously it comes under else and it is showing others. I hope this case statement is clear and we can apply that in an update statement as well. So now we will check how we can apply that in a delete statement. So I can write something delete from student, and I want to put like the people who will be failed should be deleted from my table. First, let me check the data criteria. Suppose I want to delete, suppose Dr. Pranav, say, or not Dr. Pranav, suppose Krish record. He got less than 30. Suppose I want to delete that. Or suppose even Michael, 30 and 45. I want to delete the people who got less than 50. So how can I do that? So previously I can write something like delete from student. Obviously this is the preferred way, like delete from student where marks less than equals to 50. Obviously it is like it will be like a stupidity if I go for a complicated logic. Rather, this is the easiest one, but still I will check if I can apply case statement in the delete statement or not. That is my purpose. So I can simply write where, suppose I can write failed. Suppose I am marking them as failed. Failed equals to, what is failed now? If, let me put something like case, Suppose I have some pretty typical tough criteria. So I can write them here and I can compare in this way. But still, I will prefer the normal where condition at the time of deletion. But still, I want to look how it is behaving, how the case statement behaves in the delete statement. So I can write when marks less than equals to 50, then failed. And when marks greater than equals to 50, then it is passed. And if we have any null marks or anything like that, I will mark that as others or any. Else, I will mark them as any. All right. So this statement will give me failed or passed. And if it is matched with failed, then the data will be deleted. So take a look. We have two data, Krish, who should be declared as failed in few minutes, and Michael as well, who will be declared failed in few minutes. So those two data should be deleted. So let me check. So yeah, 2 rows affected. Hope I'm not be able to see Krish and Michael anymore in the table. Yeah. So those two data has been deleted. So you can see I am able to delete the statement, delete some records on the basis of the case statements. Okay, I hope it is clear. So my request will be now to practice all of those case statements related exercise from the Facebook group. If you do not have the link, ping me in the chat box, and I think it is updated in the description field. I will, if not, I will update the same. So yep, so that's all. And next day we will come with some other topic. So plus first revise this thing, and I will prefer to revise all the logical thing first, like the join, like the group by, even this case statements a bit. Okay, that's all for the day. See you again. Bye. Take care. Till then.